The pen trembled in her hand. Everyone in the room watched silently as 20-year-old Lena Carter stared at the final page of the contract spread before her. Across the table sat Damian Blackwood, 25, billionaire, so cold-eyed, unreadable, the kind of man whose presence made entire boardrooms nervous. "Sign it," he said. Lena swallowed hard. "This is the only way to save your mother's life." Her fingers tightened around the pen. She had no choice. Hospital bills were crushing her. Her mother needed emergency surgery. And Damian Blackwood was offering her $500,000. For one signature. "Just sign," his lawyer urged. Tears burned in her eyes. Without reading the final page, she signed. Damian looked at the signature, then slowly closed the folder. And for the first time that night, he smiled. The smile so cold, it made Lena's stomach drop. Because that was the moment she realized. She had just sold her life to a man she didn't understand. And she had no idea. What does the last clause say? Lena Carter had spent most of her life surviving. At 20 years old, she worked 2 jobs, waitressing by day and cleaning offices by night, all while trying to keep her mother alive. Her father had abandoned them years ago. Debt collectors called daily. The landlord had already threatened eviction twice. But despite everything, Lena was kind. The type of girl who gave food to homeless strangers even when she barely had enough herself. The type who smiled through pain. The type who believed good things eventually happened to good people. She was wrong. Because the day her mother collapsed in their apartment, doctors told Lena the surgery would cost more money than she would earn in 10 years. She begged, borrowed, pleaded. Nothing worked. Then Damian Blackwood appeared. No warning. No explanation. Just a black luxury car waiting outside the hospital. His assistant handed Lena a card. "Mr. Blackwood would like to make you an offer." She followed them to his penthouse. That was where she met him. Damian Blackwood, the youngest billionaire CEO in the city, brilliant, feared, ruthless. Rumors followed him everywhere. That he destroyed competitors for sport. That woman left his life crying. That no one ever truly knew what he wanted. He poured himself a whiskey and didn't offer her any. Then said the words that changed everything. "I'll pay for your mother's surgery." Lena burst into tears. But then came the condition. "You will marry me." The room went silent. Lena stared at him. "What?" "A contractual marriage. 1 year. Public appearances. Absolute obedience to the agreement." She laughed in disbelief. "You're insane." Damian leaned closer. "Maybe. But I'm also your only option." Then he slid the contract toward her. And she signed. Without reading the last page. The wedding happened 3 days later. Private ceremony, no family, no friends, no romance. Just signatures. Flashing cameras. And a ring so expensive it felt like a prison on her finger. The public called it a fairy tale. They had no idea it was a cage. At first, Damian treated her like a business asset. He gave her rules. Strict ones. Rule 1, never embarrass him in public. Rule 2, never enter his private office. Rule 3, never ask about his past. Rule 4, never violate the final clause. That one made her pause. What final clause? Damian's expression darkened. "You signed it. You should know." Her blood ran cold. But he walked away before she could ask more. Weeks passed. Their fake marriage became a tabloid obsession. The public adored them. But behind closed doors, Damian remained distant, controlled, unreadable. Yet cracks began to show. Lena noticed things. How he secretly sent food to the kitchen staff when they worked late. How he paid for an employee's child's surgery anonymously. How he stared at old family photos when he thought no one was looking. He wasn't heartless. Just broken. And slowly, against her better judgment, she began to fall for him. Then one night at a charity gala, a drunk investor grabbed Lena's wrist. Before she could react, Damian slammed the man against a wall. "Touch my wife again," he growled, "and I'll bury you." The entire room froze. Later that night, Lena confronted him. "Why do you protect me if none of this is real?" Damian stared at her for a long moment. Then whispered, because some things became real when I wasn't looking. And kissed her, desperate, like a man trying not to drown. That was the night everything changed. Their fake marriage stopped feeling fake. Walls fell. Distance vanished. They laughed together, cooked together, slept in the same bed. And for the first time in years, Damien looked happy. Lena believed she had saved him. She believed he loved her. She believed the contract no longer mattered. Until she found the file. She wasn't snooping. She was looking for aspirin in his office. The office he told her never to enter. Then she saw it. Her contract. Locked in his drawer. Curiosity took over. Her hands shook as she turned to the final page. And read the clause she had never seen. Final clause. Upon completion of the contractual term, spouse Lena Carter shall relinquish all legal rights to any offspring conceived during the marriage. Full custody transfers exclusively to Damien Blackwood. The paper fell from her hands. Her entire body went numb. She touched her stomach, because she was already pregnant. 2 weeks. And Damien knew. He had known before she did. The entire room spun. Every kiss. Every touch. Every moment. Are all lies. He hadn't fallen in love with her. He had chosen her. Because he wanted an heir. And she was nothing more than the vessel. When Damien came home, he found her standing in the middle of the penthouse. Contract in hand, tears were streaming down her face. "You planned this?" she whispered. His face went white. "Lena, you used me? It's not what you think. You were going to take my baby?" Damien stepped forward. She stepped back. And for the first time, he looked afraid. "My father," he said quietly, "forced that clause into the agreement." She laughed bitterly. "And you let me sign it. I was going to remove it. But you didn't." His guilt said enough. Tears streamed down her face. "I loved you." That shattered him. But she was already walking away. And this time, he didn't stop her. Because he knew he deserved it. Days passed. Then weeks. Lena disappeared. No calls that no answers. Damien searched everywhere. Until one morning his father summoned him. And revealed the truth. The contract had never been about business. It was a trap. Damien's father had arranged the clause knowing Lena would discover it. To destroy Damien's chance at love. Because Damien's father believed love made men weak. Always had. Damien snapped. For the first time in his life, he turned against his father. Publicly. Destroyed his father's control of the company. Exposed decades of corruption. Burned the empire down. Then he found Lena. At her mother's small house. Rain pouring. He stood outside soaked, no guards, no suit jacket, no billionaire arrogance, a broken man. "I tore it up," he said. She stared silently. "The contract. The clause. My father. Everything." He dropped to his knees. "If you never forgive me, I understand." Tears filled his eyes. "But I choose you." His voice cracked. "Not the company, not the money, not the legacy." He looked at her stomach. "I choose both of you." Then Lena whispered, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Damien's eyes broke. "Because I didn't think I deserved something real." And that was the truth. She saw it. The broken little boy inside the powerful man. The man who had been taught to control everything. Because love had always been weaponized against him. Slowly she stepped forward, placed his hand on her stomach, and whispered, "Then earn us." He cried, he actually cried, and pulled her into his arms. Not because he had won, but because she gave him a second chance. Months later, their son was born. No contracts, no conditions, no lies, just love. Messy, complicated, and hard-earned love. Damien kept the final page of that original contract, framed, and as a reminder. On the day he almost lost everything by trying to control what should have been given freely. Because sometimes, the most dangerous words in the world aren't, "I hate you." They're, "Trust me." So tell me, did Damien deserve Lena's forgiveness after what he did? Or should she have walked away forever? Comment below. I want to know what you would have done. And if you love billionaire romance stories with betrayal, revenge, and emotional twists. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be even crazier.